So Nick,
Yes,
thanks for meeting with me.
for sure, man. It's good to be out here in the Santa Barbara
Oh, absolutely.
air.
Yeah. So first question I have for you, do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
I do, yeah. I was raised in kind of a spiritual environment as far as my family growing up, and yeah, I mean, I was just kind of like, raised with the values and ideals that there's definitely a God. There's definitely things going on in the world, that don't involve our physical beings and that interact with our physical beings. So yeah, definitely it was, kind of taught that there's a spiritual world, if you will, that there's a God, that there's angels. So as far as the broad subject of spirituality, I definitely believe in it. So
Awesome, Nick.
yeah.
What does your spirituality mean to you?
My spirituality, for me personally, it definitely, I view spirituality as, something that is going on all around us, and that there's definitely, good parts of spirituality and definitely not so good parts of spirituality. So, I believe that there's essentially a battle going on, around us between good and evil, and me personally, I choose to believe that God is, more powerful than the evil forces, that are trying to win, human hearts over. And so yeah, it's just, I would say that, God is, my spiritual, belief that he is stronger than the evil forces around us, and I definitely believe that strongly. So
How does it play into your daily life?
yeah. Well, I mean, I know that I'm, as a human, I fail all the time, in any given, situation and many given scenarios, and I know that, God is essentially the answer to our failures, and that He essentially, has a perfect plan for us, and so to bring it back to my everyday life, I would say that just like communication with God, praying, and I try to pray as much as I can. I try to pray every day. It's hard, but I think just trying to offer myself to God, and just realize that I'm not perfect, and I will never be perfect without Him. So I would say it's just just kind of realizing that I need God, and that humans are sinful by nature, and we're not going to ever be perfect. And not to say that perfection is has to be our pursuit, but I think that God demands perfection, and so to have a great relationship with God, we need to be seeking Him. So
Very interesting stuff. Would you say your friends and family are spiritual people?
I would say some of my friends are spiritual people, and I would say most of my family is spiritual. I have a lot of friends who aren't probably spiritual, and a lot of friends who maybe consider themselves somewhat spiritual. So yeah, I would say I definitely have kind of a mix as far as the friends go, and then yeah, I mean, I was like I said, as far as my close family and my immediate family, I would say most of them are pretty spiritual. We kind of share a common value in God, and spiritual things, and beliefs as far as spiritual things. So yeah. hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with church?
Yeah, totally. So I pretty much started going to church, probably when before I can even remember. My parents went to church every Sunday, and so, like I said, probably before I can even remember, I was in the nursery or running around, causing trouble. And then, when I got older and, we continued to go to church, and I got involved with the youth group and, played music in the youth group band, and, went to church every Sunday, and was definitely really involved. It was definitely a huge part of my life. And, pretty much most of my friends were, also went to church. And yeah, it was almost like a family thing. We pretty much all went to church together. I have a pretty big family, five boys in my family. So we all just kind of went to church together, and it was a fun thing. We'd get, go out to lunch afterwards and, talk about the sermon or just not talk about the sermon or whatever. It was definitely a enjoyable experience to kind of do that as a family together every Sunday. So.
Why do you think some people seem to say that they're not ready for church? Have you ever encountered that?
Yeah. I would say more I've encountered people saying that they're not ready for God, essentially, and it could be the same thing that they're really saying. But, it's a big commitment. Not only are you committing your time, you're committing your energy, you're committing your, if you're really, pursuing after God, you're committing your entire life, to doing that. So I think, in my opinion, unless you're just visiting a church, it's kind of pointless unless you're actually you believe in what's being said. If you're going and you're kind of curious, then that's awesome. But to call yourself a part of something and to not really commit your whole life to it, in my opinion, is pretty pointless. So yeah, I would say that, the reason for people saying that is because they're, maybe afraid of kind of going down that path, because they know what it'll lead to. It'll lead to, either full commitment or non-commitment. Maybe they're just, not ready to commit the time. So I think, there's probably multiple reasons, but probably most of them kind of stem from some sort of fear, some sort of just kind of not necessarily ignorance, but just not wanting to actually believe. So yeah.
And lastly, what do you think it means to be a Christian?
Yeah, that's a deep question.
Yeah.
I think believing is a really big part. You always hear the term believer, kind of as another name for a Christian, but I think that's a lot of it is believing in the gospel message, and believing that we are sinful, and we are essentially lost without God, and so I think believing those facts and accepting God into your life, and accepting that Jesus came and died, and basically forgives us for our wrongdoings, and died to pay our way to heaven, is really the core of it. It's if you believe and you accept, then it's the rest is kind of falls into place. You've already been essentially bought by God's sacrifice on the cross. So yeah.
Amazing responses, man. Thank you very much.
For sure, man.
All right, that'll conclude our interview.